Hello and welcome to the latest episode of the Low Budget Review Show. I am your host, Eric Smith. Today, I am talking about The Halloween Store and Other Tales of All Hallows Eve by Ronald Kelly. This is published by Macabre Inc. And it is a short story collection with a great cover. Let's take a quick look, see if we can see the cover artist. That tells me first edition. That's copyright information. I don't see the name of the cover artist. Perhaps I'm missing it. Either way, fantastic cover. And as I said, this is a short story collection, all Halloween stories. And they range from horribly frightening to somewhat lighthearted. And they cover some of the stories. Cover certain tropes. The very first story, the Halloween store, is the kids find a mysterious Halloween shop and get their costumes from that store, and of course things, happen. It's that trope, but and let's see, I was gonna maybe mention another one. There's one about buying something from the back of a comic book, and that doesn't go the way people think the characters think it's going to go. That's kind of a trope. We've seen that before. But the thing with Ronald Kelly is he puts his own spin on it. They're interesting. I like both of those tropes generally, but they're tropes for a reason. They've been done. So you want an author that can put their own spin on it. So yeah, the Halloween store, a lot of fun. Mr. Mac is back in town is a really great story about a serial killer, and it packs a wallop. Really interesting story. Blood Suede Shoes has some tropes, but again, puts its own spin on it. Not going to say really much about that, but just kind of listen to the title. Blood Suede Shoes. Clown Treats. The Cistern. Cistern is a lot of fun, interesting story. Ooh, Pretty Little Lanterns. That's a good one. And I like that one a lot. And the Amazing and Totally Awesome Frey Creature is the one with the comic book ad. A lot of fun. There's like I said, there's some fun stories. Oh, I really like the ending of that last one, The Amazing and Totally Awesome Frey Creature. Has a really nice ending. So yeah, I mean, Ronald Kelly was big back in I think the 80s. The Zebra horror boom, and then after that crashed, he didn't write for the longest time, and now he's made this comeback. I don't remember exactly what year it started, but he kind of has plunged back into the horror scene. This is the first of two short story collections that I'll be reading for my Halloween reading list. And technically the other one came out first, but I just happened to grab this one first. I don't think it's going to matter since they're all short stories. I actually just ordered his, I think it's a nonfiction book, Southern Fried and Horrified. But I've been picking up his newer stuff. I'd love to find like the old Zebra editions of his old stuff. Sort of paperbacks from hell kind of covers and things. But anyway, there are also two essays in here. The last Halloween, an essay, is what one of them is called, and it essentially is the story of Ronald Kelly's last Halloween. Basically, in the town he grew up in, you weren't supposed to go trick-or-treating after you were 12. I believe. It's the story of his Halloween as a 12-year-old, the last time he could go out trick-or-treating. And then my top 10 favorite Halloween stuff of the 60s and 70s. I really, really like this essay because it just memories, man. Just all sorts of memories of the things he's talking about. I had completely forgotten about box costumes. Just these a little box, almost like the size of a pie, the box you'd get a pie in, I suppose. And you had those plastic masks with the elastic band, and then this flame retardant vinyl costume with just the costume just sort of printed on this bodysuit. Um, yeah, I grew up with those. I remembered the masks, forgot that you could get them in these boxes, and there'd be a clear window so you could see the mask, which was sitting on top. So I really enjoyed that particular essay because it just brought back so many memories. So, as with every short story collection there is, this has, some really good stories. I shouldn't say not every short story collection has really good short stories. It has its ups and downs. There are really good short stories. They're all good, but they range from good to really, really good. Excuse me. So, I don't want to give anything away. It's always difficult for me to talk about short stories because it's, I think, easier to give away any twists and turns or important things, spoil the story. Easier to do with a short story than with a novel or something because there's, more meat to talk about in a novel. But yeah, just looking it over, as I mentioned, all the stories, the titles, and yeah, it's good stuff. A nice book of Halloween stories. And okay, I guess that's it. I sort of lost my train of thought there. So, The Halloween Store and Other Tales of All Hallows Eve by Ronald Kelly. Trying to keep that picture uncovered. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars, which I think for an anthology, or it's not an anthology, it's a short story collection. For a short story collection, I think that's a good rating. Every story would have to be a banger to get 5 out of 5. But this is a 4 out of 5, so highly recommended. Pick it up. Let me know what you think. I don't really have a question for this video. I guess, what is your fondest Halloween memory? How's that for those of you that celebrate the holiday? What is your fondest Halloween memory? It's difficult for me to choose. Growing up, again, we had the costume in a box. I remember my mother would make costumes for me. So I know one year I went as Mr. Spock, and we used putty to give me pointed ears. My mother made me a Star Trek uniform shirt. When I went as Dracula one year, she made me a cape. I went as Spider-Man one year, and I had the plastic mask with the elastic band, but she made me a costume. Now, to be fair, she just made me essentially an orange bodysuit. I don't know why it was orange, and drew spiderwebs on it. That was my Spider-Man costume. When I was really young, I went as Underdog, again with the plastic face mask, but my mother made the costume. So yeah, those are the costumes I remember when I was a kid. As an adult, when I would hanging out with some friends who had kids, and so we would go and take their kids trick or treating, and I would dress up. One year, I went as Kevin Matchstick from the Mage comic book, one of my favorite comics of all time, which was essentially, it was very easy: jeans, a black t-shirt with a white lightning bolt on it, and it was a Mage t-shirt, and a baseball bat. Should have been glowing green, but I didn't have a way to make that happen. And one year I was Herbert West the Reanimator. I had a white lab coat from when I worked as a volunteer for our local blood bank. And I got a syringe from my boss at the time, someone in his family had diabetes or something, and they had syringes. And I filled it with Mountain Dew and then put glue over the opening so that it wouldn't drip out. So I had my glowing fluid and had Dr. West name tag and everything. And let's see, one year I went to a party when I was working at a picture framing shop. One of my coworkers was always throwing parties, and they'd throw these huge Halloween parties. And this is before the MCU existed. I went as the original Nick Fury. Nobody knew who the hell I was, but I had an eye patch and a cigar and a black faux leather jacket, and had made a shield patch, and had a this kind of cool looking, futuristic looking sort of squirt gun, and made a holster for it. Nobody knew who the hell I was, but that was a lot of fun. It was a good party too, till I got a little sick from drinking. One of the rare times back when I would drink a little. But anyway, those are just my top Halloween memories. Going through haunted houses. Our church. I was a churchgoer as a kid. We would put on a haunted house in the basement of the church. That was always fun. But what about you? Do you celebrate Halloween? What are your best Halloween memories? Let me know in the comments below. Comments are open for... Wait, what am I talking about? I'm getting ahead of myself. If you have any comments, questions, or corrections, please put those in the comments below. Comments are open for spoilers. Just post spoiler warning. We try to be polite here at the Low Budget Review Show. Please like, share, and subscribe. All that YouTube stuff. And if you'd care to follow me on other social media, my Twitter is at Ronan5757. My Instagram, where I post pictures of books, comic books, board games, and fuzzy animals, is EricSmith5757. That's Eric with a K, ERIKSMITH5757. And that's all I have for you. This has been the Low Budget Review Show. I have been Eric Smith. And until next time, read more books.